So it being 5 o'clock, I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Peter might not be here tonight. Wasn't sure.
Peter won't be here, okay.
He may
And
not be.
Bernie is not going to be here. Agenda review and disposition?
Madam Chair, I'm all set with personnel, collective bargaining, and legal opinions in non-public session.
All right. The minutes of October 16th were written out for all of us, unless there are corrections or amendments. They stand approved as written. So you are on, Mr. Halloran.
Just briefly, I don't think you can notice because it's so dark out, but the bottom coat of the paving went on today. Not the top coat, we wouldn't do that in the rain, but the base coat, which stabilizes everything. So that went on today, and then hopefully shortly we'll put the top coat of the paving on. But I think we've done a terrific job defining the back edge now around the loading dock down there. We straightened out the drainage, straightened out the oil and water separators underground. So I think from an infrastructure standpoint, did some really good work. Kudos to Dana White and his crew that did the site work for us, a bunch of local guys. And so I think that's gone well. The third floor is moved into now. Special education is there. Is Health Oc?
Health Oc moved in, sir, Monday.
Health Oc is in. The kitchen flooring now is down on the second floor, and once that is set, then they really take off.
The equipment will come in.
The
We'll bring
appliance
that
folks,
Monday.
and then the dining room will be. That's an open area. That's really quick to do. And then autos is taking shape too. So we're getting there, and so hopefully we'll be squared away by Christmas break. Everybody where they're supposed to be. A little longer than we expected, but with more surprises than we expected. So that's the update on the building. All set.
All right, thank you. Mr. Parsons.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mark explained the CTC, but Health Oc did go in. So the tours are open. It's amazing that I haven't seen kids coming down to investigate. They haven't, but the kids in the program, I spent some quality time with them today. They were extremely appreciative of their new facility, and I thank them for their patience too. I received the follow-up report. It's really still in draft form that I will share. I want to put a presentation for you together from the NEASC, the collaborative conference that they did. It was extremely positive, and no surprises. As I quickly reported out, I think last time, with the vision of a graduate, we need to look at a growth plan, and I will map that out for you in the upcoming months as we move forward to that. The 13th of November, coming up next week, is an in-service day, so the kids are off Monday for Veterans Day, and then Tuesday we have an in-service day planned for the staff. We've worked hand in hand with Homeland Security and the Plymouth Police. Kudos to Steve Lefebvre and Rod Diamond. We're putting on a presentation for our teachers and aides. I'll open it up to the principals too in the district on Tuesday for a couple of hours, dealing with active shooters and different situations. It's funny that the report does mention being a little more acknowledging what our plan is in regards with the staff, the students. They had expressed some concern regarding that. But again, we've worked with the staff again, and every situation is different. But this is the first time we're actually bringing in the police, and they'll be running a two-hour training for us on the 13th. I'm going to use some time for the teachers to do department work, and then from 12:30 to 5:30, that'll be our open house. That is a little different rather than the conference night that we used to in the gym. We've noticed attendance has been down. So, we've only had those hours open, I think, from 5:30 to 7:30, and we're looking at a different approach. So I'll report back and let you know how that goes, but that'll be from 12:30 to 5:30. They do it very similar in the elementary school, so we'll see how that works out. Today, we had really Thanksgiving, and I put a little aside because I wanted you guys to sample what the kids experienced today, and it went extremely well. Hats off to Cafe Services, right where we're standing here, sitting. We fed almost close to 700 people and 4 lunches. And I tell you, the kids, it was really heartwarming to watch the kids. They were really appreciative. They had the full gamut, which I've asked Cafe Services to serve for you. You'll see the same deal, but it was a nice day. And I know it was early, but voting day and everything else, I think the kids are appreciative. Other than that, we have the school musical. Will be Thursday, Children of Eden. It'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be unable to have our annual Thanksgiving Day dinner with the seniors. Janice assured me that she contacted the senior center. They did their posters up, whatever. We don't have a kitchen really to cook that many turkeys, but we'll be putting that back together for them next. And the quarter ended, I think it ends Thursday. Yeah. The grades will come out. Questions for me?
Thank you. And the committees are all meeting again November 19th. Did FCC meet?
Yes, we did. We met last night. We had a wonderful meeting. We had quite an attendance, about 13 or 14 people altogether, which is very good for us. We had representation from the board, the administration, faculty, staff, and students. And we did get right off on an in-depth discussion of late start time for the high school. The students did a lot of research. It was great. They looked at the pros, the cons, the obstacles we have ahead of us in moving forward with this. And we brought in some information about other schools who've done this. I guess the school that's done it that's closest to us is Keene. And we're going to have more conversations with them. But Interlakes has done it, Portsmouth has done it, Keene has done it. I forget how many others, but we're not starting anew. So we will be collaborating with the other schools and trying to get more information. I was very impressed with what the students brought in for research, and they know that this very well could be more than 1 year, and some of them that are working on the committee now will graduate out. But I was very impressed. So our next meeting is December 3rd at 5:15. I encourage any and all of you to come to see this committee in operation. The students are really wonderful.
Barbara, if I could, just to be, and I would encourage too, I provided the committee with 2 schools, Keene, that you've been reading about in the paper, and Interlakes. So, I mean, it takes you through the entire process. That's what I provided to the students last night in the committee. So there's like 100 pages of research or whatever, so they have a lot of reading to do. And there's a lot of, as Barbara said, pros and cons on both sides. But if it's online if you want. You can contact Janice and she can connect you. Just taking a look at the 2 Keenes and Interlakes. It's interesting reading.
This is just a small representation of the paperwork that was distributed last night from members from their research. And yes, Bruce did bring in information from those 2. I also brought in information from Keene. One of the other members brought in research on the rationale for delaying school start time. And the same member also brought in information on American Academy of Sleep Medicine position statement. And we talked about circadian rhythm and what it does to students, the amount of sleep hours needed. I mean, we went off in so many different intelligent directions. And we're going to keep on going. And this is a 3-page sheet on the potential pitfalls of the regional high school through the latest date. So this is just the beginning. And we're really enthusiastic about the research that they need to do. So I'm impressed.
All right. Thank you.
December 3rd at 5:15. You all come.
Discussion items.
Yes, Madam Chair. Just sort of a precursor to the budget presentation that you'll get on November 19th. First of all, I handed out a letter. There was a program the governor started under Homeland Security. The legislature had appropriated money for security projects, and Ethel worked with us, and John Francis, and all the principals, and a number of your schools also put in application. But we have been approved up to 80% of the cost of a project here, and not to go above $100,000, which is a very, very nice award within this program. And that is work that would be done on the front entrance to the building. So during the budget process, we will talk to you about what that work is, if you want to put it on a warrant article for the district voters to see if they want to come up with their share, and that grant would kick in for that project. So at one of the nights we discuss the budget, John Francis will be here and talk about potential changes to the front entrance of the building. Some of those changes have been recommended to us by an audit we had by State Homeland Security and also the Plymouth Police Department. So that's good news. That's a little bit of revenue if we were going to do that project. And as I said, some of your elementary schools too have also have applied. Some of them have gotten grants. Plymouth Elementary has the exact same grant for next door, same sort of entry area of work. Also, technology-wise, we've spent an awful lot of money in this district in the last few years in technology, either through grants or through property tax money. And oftentimes, Bruce and I feel like we're chasing our tails, that it's never enough, and it's just a constant need. We have looked at what I consider some very successful districts have done, not only to curtail their expense, but also to maximize opportunities. And a number of those schools, and a couple of our elementary schools, are giving Chromebooks to students when they come in. And that's the technology that they have. Whether they take them home or leave them here in the building, that would be a board philosophy issue. But so you may see a proposal from us for $40,000 to outfit the freshman class with Chromebooks. And then we would begin the freshmen and begin to work our way up. We would then only be using money to help the infrastructure and the software programs. There would be a need for other hardware in specific instances. Science comes to mind, the program behind us comes to mind, but it wouldn't be this constant chase of this classroom teacher needs this classroom teacher needs that. So we'll have a solid conversation about that. And what it does is I'm trying to minimize our financial exposure, and a little further down the road, I'm sure that this district will be looking at bring your own device technology issues down the road. There are a lot of issues involved with that, but at the same time, with the cost of technology, I'm not sure that the way we raise money on the property tax, that this is a chase where we're going to win. So just sort of a heads up of what we're thinking.
Ross?
You gotta laugh at me.
That's okay, no one heard you but me. Any questions for Mark on that?
Actually, Mark, can you explain a little bit how the Chromebooks would save us money, just in general?
I'm sorry?
How would the Chromebooks save us money in the long run? We've already got computer setups and all that,
Right.
so I'm just wondering how
Right.
that works.
I think that we would be providing the software, or either providing it in-house or in the cloud, that they would access. Right now, we're getting laptops here, Chromebooks there, something else over here, and it's a chase to nowhere. And no one seems satisfied. And every time I sit down and Bruce and I sit, you know, and you know our age, yeah, so I'm expecting to hear, yeah, things are great, and it's, oh, we gotta have. And it's well-meaning, and I'm sure there is some need, but it just seems like overwhelming to me. And so I think that if we had Chromebooks, and then where we needed specific, you know, more powerful machines, then they would be in those classrooms. And also, it would be an opportunity for all of our students to have a device. There may still be students that don't. So I just feel like we get a better handle on the money, and we can utilize what we have in here more effectively.
Is everyone familiar with what Chromebook is? Did you have? Okay.
You just showed it to me.
It's a smaller
So
version of a laptop.
That's what we're talking about.
And it would stay with them for their 4 years.
It's
and
it's
leave
their
them,
machine for
'cause
4 years.
That's the lifespan.
Then they go out the door.
There's an agreement
So
that you
every
put together and all
freshman
that
class would be
pays insurance.
$40,000 or whatever it is. And what are we paying annually about in technology?
Well, you know, you look at your line items, and we may have put $80,000 or $90,000 in your budget, and then you dig into the federal grants, and we may have spent the same amount of money in federal grant money.
But it's also the cycle too, Maureen, that Mark's talking about,
Yeah.
to trying to keep up, because, you know, I've got to put these different classrooms on different, you know, because these computers get tired quick in these different rooms.
So a 4-year cycle for a Chromebook, it goes out the door with the student.
And I'm not replacing 17 in different rooms. Right.
So
What is
something for you to talk about. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just asking, what is this setup? Is it like the cart, cart that
No,
rolls around?
right now, I probably have about 9 rooms that do not have a full car in their classroom. 2 or 3 because the teacher in that room just does not
Isn't-
use that technology.
Right.
But as Mark said, they are different depending on the teacher. You know, science is different than math. You know, math is different than foreign world languages. So, but there's about 9, 10 rooms that do not have a full. But there's access to the library. They can take out from there. But we have gradually, you know, put a set in every room. And as soon as I get a set in there, you know, the other set
does that
is
go?
4 years old, and it's got to be put out to pasture. So, yeah,
Lisa?
it's a giant hole.
So, and if they have their own systems, they're not allowed to bring them in?
No.
At the same time?
They can't, yeah. They
I
can't
mean, they're all on Google anyway, so whatever is their liaison to
Right.
that.
And we're also, Dan Rossner and Carol Levesque, who is at Plymouth Elementary School, went to a seminar on House Bill 1612 that just passed and signed into law, and that's about cybersecurity in school buildings. So the laws are tightening up in terms of what can come into a building and what can access your network systems. And that law goes into effect next year. And so we'll be implementing that. That really toughens up the devices that come in and what software is on those devices. And we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg, but it's all with the intent of protecting privacy and protecting the public systems that are here. So it's a world that I can't quite fathom,
Yeah, I hear
to be
you.
honest with you, but trying. The financial requests are shocking, so you've got to get handled, just on the financial side.
All right.
Yeah, part 2 is the post-issuance tax compliance policies and procedures. This is,
Fascinating reading.
it's quite frankly, it's boilerplate language sent to us by the bond folks. It's a resolution that says, we're going to comply, and then the procedures that follow are basically, will be implemented, and then we would appoint a compliance coordinator for...
What's that gonna cost us?
It's not going to cost you anything. And we would do that in the SAU office, and I would ask that you appoint Dan Rossner as a compliance coordinator. All it is making sure that we're complying with all the, quite frankly, the paperwork issues that are involved. It talks about arbitrage and some other financial matters that were historically issues that caught everybody's eye, but quite frankly, it's just flat out administrative language to comply with resolutions and for the bond.
So you want us to adopt this?
I do.
So we
Passed it
will-
out a couple meetings ago for you to take a good look at it. Many of you may have fell asleep.
I move.
Move to adopt and appoint Dan as the compliance coordinator.
Exactly.
Thank you. Seconded by Maureen. All those in favor of adopting the policy and appointing Mr. Rossner?
Aye.
Looks like you have it.
Thank you very much.
Any other business?
No, Madam Chair, I'm all set.
We are gonna take up letter from Sue.
I was going to do that in non-public.
Okay.
Board member concerns? Do I hear a motion to go into non-public for personnel, collective bargaining issues, and a legal issue?
So moved.
Seconded by Walter. Sam?
Yes.
Yes.